The Lefties are back in town, and they're riding high, everybody. Coming off a successful short weekend road trip up north, sweeping the Kamloops North Paws. A dominant showing, I might say. Outscoring the North Paws 27-7 over 3 games. They played some great competitive games early against 2 of the top-ranked teams in the Springfield Drifters and Victoria Harbor Cats. Now Port Angeles welcomes the Nanaimo NightOwls to town. The next 6 home games against 2 teams hovering right around the 500 mark. Tremendous opportunity to perhaps climb back even to 500, and maybe, just maybe, the franchise's first playoff appearance in its young existence, starting up in 2017. I'm Evan Schmeiss, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to bring you the action right here at Civic Field. Dom Pito will draw the start for the Lefties. His 3rd game start overall, 4th game pitch this summer. Elijah Ikes will dig in, get a start in the right-handed batter's box. The first pitch, the high bouncer over the 3rd. B.Y. Choi flags it down. Good range and a good throw across the diamond. 1 quick out. 6:37 Pacific Standard Time, 57 degrees. Pretty overcast day. Can't really see the top parts of the foothills of Olympic National Park in right field. Extremely light breeze out of the west, about as calm of a high 50s day you could ask for. Well, that brings up Wiley Waters. He swings the first pitch. That one's lined. It's going to be fair down the right field line, and it's heading to the lefty bullpen. Jackson's able to cut it off right before it gets to the corner. Fires in on a couple hops to the cutoff man. Well, talk about a fast start. 2 pitches, we get a ground ball out, and then Wiley Waters comes up with a double. Aggressive way to greet Pito. 0-1 overall, 2.70 ERA over 13 1/3 total innings. He's kept the hit count down, only 11. Keep an eye on the walks. He's up to 11. His last outing, hosting the Victoria Harbor Cats, he was excellent. 5 1/3, just 1 earned run, scattered 3 hits, 4 walks, only 3 strikeouts, but he has been a rock. That brings up the center fielder, Brandon Houp. First pitch is low. So Pito working out the stretch. 1 out with a man on second, that being Waters after just doubling. Lefties trying to win their 4th game in a row. That one gets right through the 5-hole of Adams, and it kicks around a bit towards the backstop. Assume that'll go down as a wild pitch. Moves us to a 2-0 count. Waters up to 3rd. Let's take a look at the rest of the Night Owls lineup. Hugh will be followed by Brandon Nickel, batting 4th. Aaron Marsh will be the 5th man. Tim Holick will bat 6th. Jax Hiles, the 7th hitter. Cody Hendricks will hit 8th. Samuel Torres, the catcher, will round out the Nanaimo NightOwls lineup. Big swing and a miss, 2-1 the count. So the Lefties will have the corners playing about even with the bag, with Alsop at first, B.Y. Choi at 3rd. The middle infielders will play back, conceding a run early on a grounder. Pito still working out the stretch. Here's his 2-1. That one's in the air, down the right field line. Jackson's over, and it's going to get out of play towards the grandstands. So that evens up the count 2-2. Great opportunity for Pito to pick up a strikeout. Hube is tied for 7th in the league in hits with 17. Also tied for the team lead with his teammate Ethan Rivera. And there's a breaking ball in there for a called strike 3. Pito picks an excellent time for a strikeout. 2 outs now. Everybody can move back on the infield. You'll love to see that kind of resilience. And we'll talk about that just a little bit later on. Lefties having to show quite a bit of resilience to get their short road trip started. That brings up Brandon Nickel. He started the season 2 for 21. He's 6 for his last 12. And he works ahead 1-0. Nickel hitting .242 overall, the home run, 7 RBIs. Pito trying to work out of a jam. That one's ripped down the left field line. It's going to be fouled. Don Pito able to pick up a strikeout just a moment ago, trying to work out this inning unscathed. Past couple games up north, just blowout efforts from the lefties. Quite a bit one-sided, trying to send those bats into the dugout to get to work. The 1-1 out of the stretch. The curveball just a little high. So that moves the count to 2-1. Pito and the lefties trying to leave Waters over at third. That breaking ball is foul tipped in and out of the glove of Adams. Quite a bit of life on the breaking ball early. Very encouraging sign, especially just coming out of the bullpen, finishing the warm-ups. Nunez at second, playing right on the lip of the grass. Another breaking ball. He gets a swing and a miss right there. Adams pops out in front of the plate, tosses to first to finish off the strikeout. Dom Pito, back-to-back strikeouts, able to work around the jam, and a one-out double. No runs, a hit, and a man left for the Night Owls, the lefties, coming up to bat. Welcome back, everybody. We're set for the bottom of the first here at Civic Field. Lefties looking to get those bats going after outscoring the North Paws 27-7 during the weekend. Nathan Bouchon will draw the start. His fourth start, fourth game overall. He's 2-0, 1.68 ERA over 16 innings. Not a high strikeout guy, only 9, but he keeps the walks down at 6. His last outing a week ago against Yakima Valley, 6 shutout innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. So a pretty good-looking matchup, especially to get us started. It'll be the red-hot Roberto Nunez, followed by Trent Jackson. B.Y. Choi will hit third. Owen Alsup's the cleanup man, followed by Chris Schuhart. Cam Kuster's the 6th hitter. Barrett Rose, the designated hitter, will bat 7th. The catcher, Sam Adams, is 8th. Sebastian Flores will round out the order for the Port Angeles Lefties. And boy, Nunez, scalding hot, hottest man in the West Coast. You can say just about anything you want. This guy has been raking. Lefty on righty matchup, Nunez takes a fastball a little outside. So talking about Roberto, he leads the league in hits with 25. So that one's popped up, foul territory on the right side. The first baseman, Tim Holig, is over. The second baseman, Marsh, is there. Couldn't tell quite at first. Looks like they're not able to make the catch. Ball hung up there a long time. Ultimately, new life for Nunez. 1-1 the count. There has been some new bits of fencing put in down the left and right field lines. The Port Angeles High School graduation had finished off during the weekends. That ball's ripped just foul down the third base line. Good swing there from Nunez, but he's behind 1-2. So with all that concluding, we were able to put in some of the fencing to separate the bullpens down the lines from the playing field. So especially down the right field line, nowhere near as much foul territory. It got a lot shorter. And 1-2 pitches swung on and missed. Bouchon with the fastball towards the outer half, able to get Nunez. So 1 out, it brings up Trent Jackson. So now a lefty on lefty matchup. Jackson hitting 300 overall. He takes inside 1-0 the count. Couple doubles, couple triples to his credit. And a really good weekend road trip for him. 5 for 13. The count evens up 1-1 on that foul ball. Deservedly getting that second spot in the order. Here's the 1-1 from Bouchon out of the windup. Gets him to go after a high fastball, 1-2 the count. Doesn't appear to be a high velocity guy. That was a pretty straight looking fastball. Trying to keep hitters off balance. That 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball. Good take right there from Jackson. So 2-2 with 1 out, nobody on base. Lefty's trying to get an early rally going. Here's the 2-2. That one's popped up. On the right side, Marsh, the second baseman, goes out. Short right center. Brandon Hoop comes in, but it's going to be the second baseman, Marsh, making the over-the-shoulder grab. So a strikeout in the pop-up to get started. It brings up B.Y. Choi. So a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Choi settles in. He's been better recently after getting off to a bit of a rough start. He's hit in each of his last 3 games. So a reasonably productive road trip for BY. Still hitting 146 overall, 4 RBIs and a double to his credit. 2-0 the count. That misses inside. Bouchon looking to pick up a 1-2-3 inning. Already a couple shakeoffs of his catcher. Now he comes set. Looked to be a fastball, and it misses a little inside. So 3-0 the count. Wonder if we'll see a take right here, especially with 2 outs and nobody on. Well, it doesn't matter. That fastball spiked in the dirt. A 4-pitch walk to Choi, and the lefties get a 2-out base runner. And that brings up Owen Alsop. 4 for 15 on the short weekend trip, hitting 245 overall. Also comes into play tonight, tied for the league lead in doubles with 6. So when Alsop's hitting the ball, he's really putting a whopping into it. At least just from the eye test, he gets a good amount on his pitches. Comes up empty on that breaking ball. Good aggressive hack. Also picked up 5 RBIs on that weekend trip. He's shown definitely a guy you'd love to have up with men on base. That's a little low, 1-1. The first baseman, Tim Holick, holding on Choi at first. Short looks to be a 2.5-step lead with the lefty Bouchon out there. Low 2-1. After Alsop, you want to get that a little bit up in the zone. Just drop the barrel on it. Good takes right there. Second baseman Marsh playing awfully shallow for his position. Kind of in the middle of the dirt between the outfield and infield grass. Oh, a good hack right there, but he fouls it back. 2-2. So 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Choi over at first. Bottom of the first inning. Lefties looking to extend the rally, trying to strike first. Keep that momentum going from the weekend. Bouchon comes set. Bit of a bigger lead from Choi now. And he does run. The pitch is fouled straight back. Really good jump from Choi. Of course, you're Alsop. You got to protect that pitch. We have not seen a move to first from the lefty Bouchon. You always wonder how good that lefty move is going to be. Sometimes you get guys who are able to hide it pretty well. Other times you get some lefties where it's pretty obvious whether they're going home or if they're going to first. Shorter lead this time from Choi. Here's a 2-2. He does not go, and it's a curveball swung on and missed by Alsip. So a couple strikeouts in the inning for Nathan Bouchon. He's able to match Dom Pito. Scoreless through one on a pretty beautiful evening, all things considered, at Civic Field. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're set for the second inning. Dom Pito will get back to work after picking up a couple strikeouts in the first. He starts Aaron Marsh off with a ball. 5, 6, 7 coming up. Aaron Marsh, Tim Holick, Jax Heil. So an interesting situation with Marsh. This is only the 6th game he's played in. He played, looked like each of the first 5 contests, has not played since June 7th. So it's been just about a couple weeks. He's 8 for 18. 1 triple, 5 RBIs to his credit. Well, he's back in the lineup now. Out of the University of British Columbia, he takes a 3-0 fastball right down the chute. A good tempo for Pito, even with the 20-second pitch clock. Well, that one misses up and away, ball 4. So leadoff walk issued to March. That'll bring up Tim Holick.
Now batting the first baseman, number 27, Tim Holick.
Holick tied for the league lead in being hit by a pitch with 6 coming into play. I've had a few teammates back in my day, all things considered, it wasn't that long ago, who just seemed like ball magnets at the plate. Pito working out the stretch. The first pitch is popped straight up. Sam Adams does not see it right away. Looks like it's going to be out of play. Oh, wow. Heads up. So that ball landed perfectly right behind the screen. Just barely missing. It looks like a dad right there with his young daughter. The young daughter's like, wow, that baseball was close. Then it kind of caromed into the crowd, and it looks like a lucky fan was able to get it. You could not have dropped that from above any more perfectly, just barely get out of play. 0-2 the count on a good fastball. And the way all the fielders and the fans were reacting, I thought that ball would get way further out of play. But in reality, just about a foot made the difference. Looked like Holick just barely foul-tipped that out of the glove of Adams. So 0-2 the count. Lefties looking to turn 2. Well, the right-handed batter of the second baseman Nunez playing pretty far over to the second base bag. So a lot of room on the right side, especially with Alsop keeping the runner close. Well, that ball is hit fairly well out to center. Kuster is out. Looks like he has a beat on it. He's able to put it away. Turned out he did not have to move all that much. So 1 out in the second, and they'll bring up the 7th man, Jax Heil. As he settles into the left-handed batter's box, we'll take a look at the lefties defensively. B.Y. Choi's over at third. Sebastian Flores is the shortstop. Roberto Nunez is at second base. Owen Alsop's the first baseman. Sam Adams is behind the plate. The first pitch is lofted foul down the left field line over towards the parking lot. Chris Schuhart's the left fielder. Cam Kuster's in center. Trent Jackson is in right. And, of course, Don Pito on the mound. Love to see a double play ball to end this second inning. That one's up and away, 1-1. You have the third baseman, Choi, still playing even with the third base bag. Check swing on a breaking ball. Looks like it's being called a ball. It was a close pitch. The home plate umpire does appeal to the field umpire, no swing. All things considered, that did take a little while. Here's the 2-1 from Pito. Foul tip back to the screen. A good high fastball. Heil out of Parkland College, hitting a $190 overall. Couple RBIs to his credit. Standing 6'3" in the left-handed batter's box. That's at the knees for a called strike 3. Already the third punch out for Pito. He's looking sharp.
Now at bat, the left fielder, number 38, Cody Hendricks.
Now with 2 outs, they'll bring up Cody Hendricks. Hendricks out of Cal State Bakersfield, hitting 138. Single RBI, 1 double to his credit. Standing right on top of the plate in the right-handed batter's box. That first pitch fastball misses a little low. Well, speaking of standing close to the plate, that's one way if you want to get hit by a lot of pitches. I know I was this way. I also had another teammate throughout high school. That ball's lofted in right center field. Kuster is over. Jackson's there. And it's going to be the center fielder. Kuster makes the call and the catch. So a couple fly ball outs to Kuster. Another strikeout. Albeit a quiet inning for Don Pito. Able to work around a leadoff walk. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Lefties will look to strike first. Well, we're all set for the bottom of the second inning, everybody. I'm Evan Schmeiser. 5, 6, 7 coming up for the lefties. Schuhart, Kuster, and the DH, Barrett Rose. First pitch from Bouchon looked to be a breaking ball. Misses up and in. Pretty comfortable start all the way around. No score early. A pretty quick pace from both pitchers. That misses low, 2-0 the count. Hardly any movement from those flagpoles in right field. Well, that ball's hit a mile high out to left. Hendricks started back. Now he comes in towards the line in fair territory. Oof. Ended up having to reach over his shoulder. Nearly overran that ball. Oh, Schuhart just missed that one. Ultimately, another fly ball out. They'll bring up Cam Kuster, a rising sophomore out of Neosho Community College. Well, that first pitch misses in the dirt. Ended up getting a surprise reaction from the home plate umpire, as well as Kuster in the batter's box. Cam only played in one of the games in Kamloops. He went 0 for 4 a few days ago. That ball's hit pretty well down the left field line, but foul. Well, that brought a few of our fans right below us quickly to their feet. Some strong reactions. Ultimately, a 1-1 count. That one a little low, 2-1. Well, you have Bouchon on the mound. He's working so fast that he barely let the left fielder Cody Hendricks get back to his spot. I had a few pitchers who were like that. Wasn't always fun as a fielder. 3-1 the count as that misses high. Granted, with all my teammates who used to get hit by tons of pitches, we always got a kick out of it. I got hit by my fair share of pitches, but you always know who that one teammate is. That ball's ripped fair down the left field line. It's going to roll into the corner. Kuster is on his way to second as Hendricks goes to dig it out. Oh, the ringing one-out double, Cam Kuster. Came into today hitting .303, his third double of the season. Man, that ball was scalded. No chance for Nicole, even on a diving attempt to make that play. Now let's see if the lefties can cash in. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Barrett Rose. Comes into play 0 for his last 11, hitting .216 overall. It'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. And you'll have the shortstop, Elijah Ikes. Looks to be playing in the back pocket of Kuster. Cam does run well. 0-1 the count on a fastball to the outer half. Probably one of the calmer evenings we've had as far as the breeze and just lounging out of the ballpark are concerned. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss at that one, 0-2. Hard, aggressive hack from Rose. The outfield's playing him pretty straight up. Hupe in center, about as perfectly aligned with home plate and the second base bag as you can get. As Bouchon comes set, takes a look at the runner once. Here's the 0-2. High 1-2. Good hold that time from Rose. So 1-2 the count now with one out. Outfield playing fairly deep all the way around. A single could score a run. Curveball, another good take from Rose. That ball darting down and away. It's never an easy pitch to handle with a lefty-on-lefty matchup. At the moment, Rose up to the challenge. So 2-2 the count, now one out. Albeit a short lead at second from Kuster. And that one's lofted in the center field. It's shallow. Hupe comes sprinting in. So does left fielder Hendricks. And it's going to be Cody Hendricks who ends up making the catch. And that ball just died up in the air out there. Almost ended up towards the shortstop Elijah Ike's spot. Ultimately, the second out, it brings up the catcher Adams. So Saturday was the only game Sam played against the North Paws. He went 2 for 3 with a double and a couple RBIs. A rising senior at Stephen F. Austin University. Looking to pick up a 2-out RBI. He takes a first pitch inside 1-0. Just heard a really powerful "Let's Go Sam" from the crowd. Yeah, let's go, Sam. Here's the 1-0 to Sam Adams. That's on the inside corner for a called strike. Borderline pitch. Short conversation between Adams and the home plate umpire. Always going to be little conversations like that, especially with the battery mate up to bat. That 1-1 misses in the dirt, 2-1. First base is open with the ninth man Flores on deck. Although Sebastian Flores has hit in each of his last 4 games. Pick your poison if you're Bouchon. Here's the 2-1 with 2 outs. That one misses inside. It's off the glove of Torres. Not far enough, though, for Kuster to advance. Looked like that ball had a little bit of cut on it. It was not the breaking ball. Couldn't have been a changeup. So something to keep an eye on, especially for the right-handed batters in the lefty lineup. And you're sure once Adams gets back to the dugout, he'll relay that to his teammates. That 3 runs ripped in the right center field. That's down for a base hit. Kuster's around third. He's going to coast on home. 2-out RBI single for Sam Adams, and the Lefties have struck first. It's 1-0 in the second. Boy, that was a good swing on a 3-1 count. Did not try to do too much on it. Not a bad pitch from Bouchon. Down and away. Just dropped the handle on it. Clearly it's a pitch that Adams was looking for, and he did not miss it. So with that RBI single, it brings up the ninth man Flores. He takes a curveball in there for a strike. Mentioned just a moment ago, Sebastian has hit safely in each of his last 4 games. He only played 1 of the 3 games up in Kamloops. Hitting .222 overall. So 1-1 the count. Pretty good size lead from Adams at first, kind of digging his feet into the dirt. Good hack from Flores, but he pops it into the screen. 1-2 the count. So 1-2, 2 outs, a man on first. Frankly, if you're the Night Owls, you want to get this out right here, especially with Nunez waiting on deck. That 1-2 curveball's fouled at the plate. Looked like it might have gotten a piece of Flores. So he'll step out and take a couple extra moments. He has that ankle guard on his front foot. I was never one to wear a whole lot of extra gear. He's got the elbow pad. Frankly, if I played longer instead of deciding to run track in college, I'd definitely be wearing all that gear. If I'm facing guys constantly throwing in the 90s. That one's lofted foul towards the right field grandstands. Yeah, because fouling one of those balls right off your leg, your ankle, your foot, goodness, that hurts. I know it's the case out here in the Pacific Northwest, but those early season games, the same way in the Northeast, playing in March and April, you get some cold ones. And boy, do they sting. Throw over to first, nowhere near in time. So we didn't quite see the real lefty move. Looked like Bouchon kind of stepped off and then did a sidearm flip to first. Maybe he didn't like the sign he got. Give Adams credit, though. He's got a big lead over there, dancing all over the place. That ball's ripped into center field for a base hit. Adams will stop at second, back-to-back 2-out singles, and the Lefties are able to bring the hottest man in the league to the plate, Roberto Nunez.
Now batting the second baseman, number 21, Roberto Garza Nunez.
So Nunez struck out swinging his only at bat. And man, you love having those extra at bats with your leadoff, with your best hitter in the leadoff spot. But you really love having him come up again with runners on base. Takes that one up and away, 1-0. Similar pitch where Bouchon got him swinging. So in center field, you have Brandon Hoop. He's not playing all that deep. Hendricks in left is. That's on the outside corner, 1-1. With that in mind, we'll take a quick look at the Night Owls defensively. Brandon Nichols at third, Elijah Ikes is the shortstop, Aaron Marsh is at second base, Tim Holick playing first, Samuel Torres behind the plate. So that one's foul tipped off the catcher Torres. Looked like it hit his chest protector. He's up. He goes out to get the ball. Gave the fans behind him a thumbs up. Catcher's a tough spot, I tell you. The home plate umpire goes to walk the baseball out to Bouchon on the mound. Cody Hendricks is in left. Brandon Hoop is in center. Jax Heil in right field. And, of course, Nathan Bouchon working his second inning. And with the lefties now leading 1-0. Kuster doubling earlier in the inning with one out. Adams able to drive him home. Here's the 1-2 with 2 outs. That one just couldn't quite find the word there. Hit softly foul. Trickled foul. That's the word I was looking for. I wanted to say something like nubbed or nubbled, but nah, trickled was the one. So Nunez able to stay alive. We'll do it again. 1-2 with Adams on second. Flores at first. Curveball taken low. Seeing quite a bit of that curveball early. Only 2 outs in the second. If you're a lefties hitter, if you're able to see that again, second time through the order, well, advantage hitter. That was a really good take from Nunez, too, with 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Roped down the left field line, but foul. Roberto Garza Nunez put a charge into that one, but it's foul towards the batting cages. So do it again. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. And 2 on, high 3-2. So the runners will be off. So 3-2 the count, 2 outs. Lefties leading 1-0. Bouchon trying to limit the damage. Here's the pitch to Nunez. The runners go, and that one swung on, hit deep down the left field line. Hendricks gives it a look, and that ball is just foul. So close to a 3-run homer. Nunez only made his way about halfway up the first base line. Looked like he had an idea it was going to go foul. A couple really good swings in this at-bat, though. Oh, here's some fans down below us now saying now Nunez is really warmed up. Oh, he has a good look now at Bouchon. Here's the 3-2 again. In the dirt, ball 4. The bases are loaded. Now they'll bring up Trent Jackson. We're going to have a meeting on the mound. Yeah, just the pitching coach as well as the catcher Torres going out there. So the meeting on the mound concludes. It'll bring Trent Jackson back up. He popped down in the infield, his only at-bat. Opportunity here for the lefties to try and open things up. A base hit should score 2. And the first pitch misses low. So it's Adams at third, Flores at second. And 2-0 the count, Nunez at first. Besides the Kuster double, all the damage has come with 2 outs. Now you wonder, does Jackson get the green light? Especially after seeing a walk moment ago. He does. It's off the glove of the first baseman, Holick, and everybody's going to be safe. He came off the bag going to his right. He was going to backhand it, and he ended up just kicking it. So it's a clear E3 on that one. No RBI on the play, but the Lefties will gladly take it. It's now a 2-0 lead with Sam Adams crossing the plate. Flores over the third, Nunez to second. So an unearned run will be charged to Nathan Bouchon. And that first pitch to Choi misses way outside and low. Now if you're the Lefties, you want to really make that error hurt. A base hit from Choi should make it a 4-0 lead. With it softly under the glove of Bouchon at shortstop, picked out by Ikes over the first, and he's going to get Choi. Turns out with a little bit of time to spare. So the Lefties are able to score 2 in the inning. The productive frame at that. One of them coming on an error over at first base. So through 2 full, it's 2-0 Lefties. We're all set for the top of the third inning, everybody. 9-1-2 coming up from Nanaimo. Samuel Torres, Elijah Ikes, and Wiley Waters. And Peta will get back to work with a 2-0 lead. An RBI single with 2 outs from Sam Adams, and Trent Jackson reaching on an error. Allows those 2 runs to come across. 1-1 to count on that foul ball. And boy, for a guy who's been as good as Dom Peto's been, 2-0 feels pretty darn good. He looks comfortable, settling into the windup. And here's his 1-1. Oh, that curveball missed a little bit high. Probably a little more than a little bit high. 2-1 the count. That's a good fastball. Half swing. Doesn't matter whether Torres went around or not. Pitch called a strike on the inside corner. Curveball outside 3-2. Well, especially with the 9-man up, I would expect a challenge fastball from Pito. It is, and Torres goes after ball 4 on a high fastball. You love that if you're Don Pito and the lefty faithful.
Now batting the shortstop, number 18, Elijah.
Well, with 1 out, we flip back to the top of the order. It brings up Ikes. Grounded out to third, his only at bat. You love to see Pito able to deliver a clean, quick inning. Good curveball in the inner half, strike 1. Pick up a shutdown frame. Let the bats get back to work. That fastball's right there on the outside corner, 0-2. Well, it's any guess what Ike's going to see down 0-2. Pito in full control. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to begin the third.
Now at bat, the DH, number 14, Wiley.
Already the fourth punch-out for Pito. That'll bring up Wiley Waters. He doubled with one out in the first. Ultimately left at third. Check swing on a curveball. Doesn't matter. Called a strike. Let's see. Already seen 3 check swings this half inning. Back-to-back 0-2 counts. That curveball being in there for a strike. Pito just got the ball back. He's already settled back in on the mound. Well, he's ready to go. That might have been not even 5 seconds between pitches. Popped up into the screen, foul. Count remains 0-2. Goodness, you talk about a guy who's settled in and feeling good, especially after getting a lead. The 0-2 with 2 outs. That curveball stays high, 1-2 the count. Well, and Pito already gets the ball back. He's set with the 1-2. One's off the hands, up the first base line. Gloved by Alsop. He'll take it to the bag himself. Well, as easy as it gets, everybody. 1-2-3 inning for Dom Pito. Able to work a shutdown frame. And through 2.5. The lefty bats will get back to work in just a moment. Well, everybody, time for the lefties to get back to work. It'll be Owen Alsop, Chris Schuhart, and Cam Kuster. Get the bats going again. Lefties able to send 8 men to the plate in the second. 3 hits in the inning, taking advantage of an error. As the lefties lead 2-0. Good swing from Owen Alsop, who fouls it straight back. Struck out his only at bat. He settles back in. Bouchon out of the windup. That misses in the dirt. 1-1 the count. Well, Alsop set to face this 1-1 pitch. Also want to give Dawn and Nancy Alsop a shout out. Whoa! Well, maybe I chose the wrong time to give them a shout out. Alsop hit that pitch foul, and his bat went flying over to the fence by the third base dugout. Well, the bat seems to be in okay shape. Alsop went to pick it up. Goodness, on opening night, saw 4 different times players let their bats go. Here's the 1-2 to Alsop. That's a called strike 3 down into the inner part of the plate. Alsop not happy with the call. It was a delayed call by the home plate umpire. Ultimately, 1 out. Once again, Dawn and Nancy Alsop, thank you for tuning into the broadcast. Of course, all the families, the host families, everybody else taking your time to tune into a baseball game. That one's looped out to short left by Chris Schuhart, and it's going to fall in for a base hit between the left fielder Hendricks and the shortstop Ikes. Texas Leaguer, it counts as a line drive nonetheless. Already the 5th hit of the game for lefty hitters, and Schuhart is 1 for 2. I'll bring up Cam Kuster. He doubled his last at bat in the second. Ended up coming around to score one of the 2 runs for Port Angeles. A short lead at first from Schuhart. Maybe about a step and a half off the bag. The Night Owls look to turn to, and the first pitch is taken low by Kuster. They have a slower pace right now from Bouchon. He goes with the leg kick. Aggressive hack from Kuster. He comes up empty on an elevated fastball. Maybe he had 4-0 on his mind. A lot of room in the right center field alleyway. Hupin center is over just a couple steps to left center. Heil in right. A few steps towards the line as that misses inside 2-1. Still just about a 2-step lead for Schuhart at first. We've only seen Bouchon go to first base once. That one's popped up into the screen. So it evens the count 2-2. And Barrett Rose just came trotting over to get the foul ball from his spot in the on-deck circle. Long look in this time from Nathan Bouchon, and now he has his sign. Here's the 2-2. Well, that ball skied a mile high down the left field line. Hendricks is back. It's pretty deep. That ball is gone. Goodness, can you believe that? Well, Barrett Rose has just made it a 4-0 lead. Excuse me, Cam Kuster's made it a 4-0 lead for the Port Angeles Lefties in the bottom of the third. Sending that one high and deep into the left field night in Port Angeles. I couldn't believe how well that ball carried. That was a good aggressive swing from Kuster. When you get good bat speed and you get a hold of one, the ball's going to fly. Especially without any wind tonight, that ball really carried well. Oh, Kuster 2 for 2 with a double and a home run. As Barrett Rose takes upstairs 1-0 the count. And the Lefties have come out swinging an early 4-0 lead. Rose takes a fastball right there, 1-1. Barrett flew out to left, his only at bat. That 1-1 curveball out of the windup is in there, 1-2 the count. That ball definitely got out by a decent ways, too. Because you had the left fielder, Hendricks, never even made an attempt to try and pull it back. So it wasn't any cheapie either. 2-2 as that misses high. And goodness, that ball was just hit way up in the air. That's one of those majestic blasts where you're just waiting for it to come down. 2-2 is way outside, 3-2 the count. On Rose trying to win the battle. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's a little bit outside, ball 4. It was close. It was a similar spot to where Alsop was punched out on strikes.
Now batting, the catcher, number 34, Sam.
Well, it gives the Lefties a 1-out base runner. Try and continue the rally. We're going to have another meeting on the mound. This time the entire Night Owls infield coming in. The batter will be Sam Adams. RBI single for him back in the second. So he's 1 for 1. And it looks like we are going to get a pitching change. So with just 1 out in the third inning, trailing 4-0, Nathan Bouchon's night is over, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with a new pitcher for Nanaimo. Oh, welcome back, everybody. New pitcher on the mound for the Nanaimo NightOwls, Nick Fenner, 6'1", 195-pound right-hander out of Canton, Texas, University of Mary Hardin Baylor. 0-1, 8.59 ERA. This will be the 5th game he's pitched in, all out of the bullpen. 7 1/3 total innings, 7 hits, 3 walks, only 3 strikeouts. So once again, not a high strikeout guy pitching for the NightOwls, as Adams fouls that first pitch back 0-1. Sam 1 for 1, RBI single coming in the second. So the Lefties putting up 2 runs in the second. They've already put 2 across in the third. That 2-run homer by Cam Kuster. And you have Barrett Rose at first after drawing a walk. Inside 1-1. So the line for Nathan Bouchon is over. 2 in the third inning, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Just ambushed by some really good patient at-bats from the Lefties and taking advantage of a few mistakes. He didn't look bad by any means, just Lefties are feeling it. Busting out the bats once again. One's outside, snap throw over the first. Holig able to pick it on a hop as Rose goes diving back. So 3-1 the count. Well, Adams able to take advantage of a 3-1 count his first time up. The runner goes and stops, and that pitch is way inside, all the way to the backstop. And it glances off the wood, and the ball ends up between the mound and home plate. So Adams will take his base. Up to second goes Rose. Goodness, that pitch just never made contact with the glove of Torres, and it went whistling right past the home plate umpire. Last thing you want to, come out of the bullpen and walk a guy. The NightOwls will look to turn 2 to try to get out of it, and it'll be left to Flores. He singled his first at bat in the second. Aggressive hack, but it's nubbed right in front of the plate. Flores didn't run right away. Well, the play is made over the first. That was bizarre. Wonder if Flores thought that ball might have made contact with him in the box, or if he just didn't see it. There's no argument from Sebastian. It'll be one of those things where you end up being fooled on the pitch, barely glances off the end of the bat, and sometimes when that happens, you don't know where the ball is. Somewhat of a productive at bat at that. Oh, look out. That ball was lined down the third base line, and it hit right off Lefties manager Carlos Ramirez. Well, Roberto Nunez, he might have to run some extra laps tomorrow, everybody. Quick little chuckle. Oh, Carlos Ramirez, he's a big, strong guy. He seems to be okay in the third base coach's box. Love to say Nunez keep hitting the ball hard, way outside, 1-1. Roberto walked his last appearance in the second. He's 0 for 1. Couple loud foul balls his last time at bat. One ending up by the batting cages on the left field line. The other one, if he was able to keep it fair, would have been a long homer. That ball's lined into center field, and that's going to drop in front of Hupe for a base hit. 2 runs are going to come across to score for the Lefties. It's now 6-0. Hottest hitter in the league, Roberto Nunez, able to get in on the action. 4 runs in the third for Port Angeles. They lead 6-0. Keep the hits coming, I tell you. The Lefties are feeling it. And that'll bring up Trent Jackson. Reached on an error by the first baseman Holig back in the second. It'll lead to a run. That ball's ripped out to right. Heil comes on. He's able to hang with it and make the play. Well, that finally retires the side here in the third. But not before. The Lefties, for the second consecutive inning, send 8 men to the plate. 4 runs come around to score. The big blows. The Cam Kuster 2-run homer, And Roberto Nunez, his 2-run single. Through 3 at Civic Field, everybody. The Lefties in full control, leading 6-0.
At bat, the center fielder, number 23, Brandon Hoop.
Well, we're good to go for the top of the 4th inning, everybody. After a long layoff and rest for that bottom of the 3rd, Don Pete will go back to work. Now stake to a 6-0 lead. His first pitch misses inside to Brandon Hoop, 1-0. Struck out his only at bat. So that's on the outside corner, 1-1. 2 consecutive innings. Lefties sending 8 men to the plate. Love to see that. 1-2 the count. That curveball from Pito still looks good. And the sun even coming out. It was overcast all day. Well, shake off from Pito. Now he deals his 1-2. So that ball's dribbled foul to the left side. Clouds all day. Some light on and off showers. A little bit more of a breeze now going out to left. See the flags. A little more activity after not doing anything early in the game. That 1-2's popped up into the screen foul. Albeit turning into a really comfortable, really beautiful evening on the Olympic Peninsula. Starting tomorrow, we should have a little over a week with some warmer weather in the 60s, even touching 70. That curveball barely misses inside. Hoop ended up turning his back on the pitch. It's one of those where you know you fool a hitter when you get him to do that on a curveball. That 2-2 fastball barely gets a piece of it, hitting it foul. Well, Hoop stepped out for a moment. Now he digs back in. The 2-2 from Pito. Another foul ball. Well, that one bounces up over the Synergy camera and out of play. Oh, looks like a little girl ended up coming out with that foul ball. She got it pretty quickly. I don't think she caught it. That ball is hit out to center field fairly well. Kuster goes back towards the wall, and he's able to make the catch right up against the wall. Really good job from Cam in center field, hanging with it. Not quite sure if that ball would have been out if nobody was standing there, but able to keep a man off base. And goodness, the ball is flying tonight at Civic Field. Especially early with the home run by Kuster. See a few guys tonight getting the ball way up in the air, and it's just taking off. First pitch down and away on the outside corner, 0-1 to Nickel. Struck out his only at bat in the first. Well, that curveball might have been about a 58-footer, 1-1. And weather-wise, I wouldn't even say we've made it to any kind of hitting season yet. That curveball a little low, check swing. Well, we're going to see all sorts of offense, I would think. Once we get some warm days in the 70s. Well, that ball's fair down the left field line. And that one's going to roll towards the batting cage in the corner. Schuhart over to get it. Brandon Nickel will pull into second base with a one-out double. Only the second hit of the day for the Nanaimo hitters. The other one being a double coming back in the first from Wiley Waters. So an RBI opportunity for the Night Owls. It brings up Aaron Marsh. He walked his only appearance in the second. And he swings the first pitch, pops it up. Short right center. Jackson Kuster comes sprinting in, and Kuster ends up diving. Did he get it? Yes, Cam Kuster makes the catch. Goodness, what a busy guy in this fourth. First, he goes back to the wall and makes a catch up against it, possibly bringing a home run back. And then he makes a diving play, do-or-die attempt on a shallow fly ball. And not to mention the two-run homer. Cam Kuster, my friend, have yourself a night. And we're not even halfway through the fourth inning. The sun's come out for him. Yep, this is Cam Kuster's night so far. Outside 1-0. And you know Dom Pito will appreciate that, just like any lefty faithful. Keeping the Nanaimo off the board, 6-0 Lefties with 2 outs in the fourth. And that one's lifted high in the air. That one's down the left field line. A few fans cover their heads, and that ball is going to go out towards the parking lot. So 0-2 the count to Tim Holick. That curveball's low. Pretty good play by Adams to stab that on the backhand. Beg your pardon, everybody. 2-1 the count. Still 2 outs. You have Nickel roaming at second. And that ball's raised high in the air to right field. It's not deep. Jackson comes sprinting in. He's able to settle under it and put it away. So Don Pito able to work around a 1-out double. He's through 4 shutout innings at Civic Field. Lefties in control, leading 6-0. Trying to keep the bats going, win their 4th in a row. It'll be B.Y. Choi, Owen Alsop, and Chris Schuhart for the 4th. Port Angeles stick to a 6-0 lead. And for 2 consecutive innings, the Lefties have sent 8 men to the plate. 2 runs coming across in the second, 4 in the third. That's where we stand. Nick Fenner misses inside 1-0. Came on in relief of Nathan Bouchon with 1 out back in that 3rd inning. That one's in for a called strike. That one's ripped up the middle for a base hit. Sizzling right past the head of Nick Fenner. That was a really good sign and a great swing from B.Y. Choi, especially a fastball down and towards the outer part of the plate. It's a pitch he's had some trouble with early on. Really great, though, to see him hang with it.
Number 39, Owen Elsa.
B.Y. Choi now 2 for 3. That brings up Owen Alsop. He struck out each of his first 2 at-bats. The Night Owls will look to turn 2. And that curveball is in for a called strike. Goodness, just really good swings all the way around from the lefties. And a really long look in from Nick Fenner. Now he comes set, slide step. Curveball misses inside, almost hit Alsop. You have the third baseman, Nickel, playing almost right on top of the third base foul line. He's not playing all that deep. Well, now he backs up a couple steps. There goes Choi. The pitch taken low and inside. Throw to second. Nowhere near in time. B.Y. Choi got a terrific jump. So the fans love to see it. That puts a man in scoring position for the Lefties. Why not? Keep it going. Add on. That's BY's third stolen base of the season. That curveball is hit a mile high. Left center field. Watch out. Oh, he was able to make the catch. Never know with the way the ball's traveling. Choi able to tag up and get into third standing up. A good job from BY. And a productive at bat from Owen Alsop, able to get a man over the third with less than 2 outs. Just the way the ball's traveling tonight. The way Alsop got a hold of it, got it way up in the air. Couldn't assume too much. That one misses a little high, 1-0. Chris Schuhart, 1 for 2. Singled back in the third, came around to score one of those 4 runs. And that ball's in the air to center. Hube goes back on towards the alleyway. Should be more than deep enough for BY to come score. He's trotting home. Sacrifice fly for Chris Schuhart. It's now 7-0 Lefties. That was an area where the Lefties had some trouble during the first homestand, but when you've got the bats going, situations like that just look and seem much easier. Momentum's just a funny and amazing thing, especially in baseball. So 2 outs in the fourth. That first pitch is fouled back by Kuster. 2-run homer for him, his last at bat in the third. On a towering shot to left. Inside 1-1. So Kuster bats with nobody on base. Lefties just talk about coming out swinging. 7-0. That curveball stays inside, 2-1. At this point, if you're in Nanaimo, you just want Nick Fenner to give you some innings. Especially with the short outing from Bouchon. Low 3-1. Talk about a way to greet the Nanaimo Night Owls. 3-1, working out the stretch. Way inside, ball 4, 2-out walk for Cam Kuster.
Now batting the DH, number 20.
Already the 5th walk of the game issued by Night Owls pitching. And here we stand with 2 outs in the 4th. That is definitely going to hurt you. And it brings up Barrett Rose. Rose ended up walking and come around to score his last appearance. He takes low 1-0. And you have Fenner seems to be exclusively working out of he's working out of the stretch. One of those guys just kind of steps and throws. Well, the man now looks to be a little more of a pronounced slide step. On the outside corner, 1-1. Also be a great time to potentially see Kuster take off. He's stolen a couple bags this season. He draws a throw. He dives back and not in time. He's been caught once. Big fan of stealing with 2 outs. He has a good lead. See what kind of jump he's able to get. That curveball's on the inside corner, 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 4th. Lefties have added another run, leading 7-0. Fenner trying to just limit the damage at that. And there goes the runner. Pitch taken outside. Throw to second. Not in time. Kuster's able to steal his 3rd bag of the season. Second stolen base of the inning for the Lefties. Pretty good pitch to throw on for Torres. Not a bad throw either, just way too big of a jump from Kuster. Now a base hit should score another run for the Lefties. Here's the 2-2 with 2 outs. Curveball, that one's lofted in the left. Hendricks coming on, that one's going to drop for a hit. Rounding third is Kuster. The ball gets away from Hendricks. Ended up just a little bit behind him. So RBI single for Barrett Rose. No error on the play. Carlos was certainly giving the wave around right there to Kuster. I think he would have scored no matter what. Cam got a great break on the ball. 8-0 Lefties. This is all Port Angeles tonight with 2 outs here in the 4th. Goodness, the fans below us having a great time. We're all having a great time up here. And the sun's out. 0-1 the count to Sam Adams. RBI single in the 2nd. He walked in the 3rd. He always just seemed like you get a good patient at bat from a guy like Adams. Misses a little inside 1-1. I know I've mentioned it before, but just one of those guys where it seems like he knows exactly what he wants to do on any given pitch in any given situation. He chops that one slowly foul up the 3rd base line. Ends up about halfway down the 1st base line, still with his bat in his hand. So 2 runs for the Lefties coming in the 2nd, 4 more in the 3rd, and 2 have come across to score in the 4th. Throw over the 1st, Rose was barely off the bag. Barrett Rose has stolen 1 base this season. That curveball, a little low. Looked like Fenner wanted that call. It evens the count 2-2. Really good patient at bats from the Lefties at that. Taking some close pitches, seeing a lot of pitches. That fastball misses just high. Couple of close pitches. Frankly, when you're a catcher and you make the home plate umpire happy, you get the benefit of the doubt when you come up to the plate. So 3-2 the count. Rose will be off from first. There he goes. And Adams goes after a breaking ball. Once again, that finally retires the side. Lefties do not send 8 men to the plate this time in the 4th, but they are able to add 2 more. They now lead 8-0 over the Nanaimo NightOwls. Through 4 full, the Lefties having a whole lot of fun out there. I'm going to come back, everybody, just a little bit early for the top of the fifth. Sam Adams needed a few extra moments to get his catcher's gear back on after finishing up the bottom half of the fourth. Some congratulations that I'd want to issue out. Port Angeles High School had their graduation ceremony during the weekend. Our very own Cole Acker, very first name called. Well, that's going to happen a good amount of the time, especially when your last name goes A-C-K.
Now at bat, the right fielder, number 9, Jack Sizzle.
Cole also was able to just get some really good bit of information. Pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. Also ended up being the very last name called. Ending up reading some names out, president of the class. Oh, congratulations, Cole. And I was able to congratulate him in person as he arrived to the ballpark. That misses way outside, 1-2 the count. All smiles. Heck, I remember when I graduated high school. It wasn't all that long ago, all things considered. I was all smiles. 2-2 the count. It's a tremendous checkpoint and, of course, a landmark milestone, especially in any young person's life. A 2-2 from Pito, swung on and missed at a breaking ball. That was a nasty one. Disappearing act as it just died down and out of the strike zone.
Now at bat, the
Well, one out as that brings up Cody Hendricks. Hendricks flew out to center his only at bat. As that curveball misses outside 1-0. And Pito comes set out of the windup. And that ball's hit way up in the air out to left. Shuart comes trotting in a couple steps. He's able to put it away. Quickly 2 outs. Now, I mentioned it earlier, Cole Acker will be heading off to Mount Hood Community College in Gresham, Oregon. Continue his baseball career this fall. 0-1 the count on that foul ball to Samuel Torres. And that's a pretty good way to get the summer started. Or just go about the summer in general. Play some baseball, finish off high school, and face some upper-level competition. Torres struck out his only at bat in the third. That curveball misses high again, 2-1. Peter looking to work another 1-2-3 inning. He gets a very late swing on the fastball, 2-2 the count. He was able to work a 1-2-3 frame back in the third. Really just not many opportunities for Nanaimo to pounce. Fastball right down the chute, swung on and missed by Samuel Torres. Well, for the second time tonight, Dom Pito able to work a 1-2-3 frame. He's through 5 shutout innings, making really easy work of this Night Owls lineup. Only 2 hits allowed. Through 4.5, Lefties in full control, leading 8-0. And one more time, congratulations, Port Angeles High School, class of 2023.
Sebastian Flores.
Well, we continue on, set for the bottom of the fifth. 9-1-2 coming up for the lefties. It'll be Flores, Nunez, and Jackson. For the second time tonight, the Night Owls will go to the bullpen. Addison Maddox will take over. 6'4", 200-pound righty out of Everett Community College. It's only the second time he's pitched this season. His first pitch is on the outside corner to Flores, 0-1. He went 2 1/3 5 days ago against Yakima Valley. Allowed an earned run, a couple hits, a couple walks. That 0-1 pitch is breaking ball down and away, 1-1. Flores is 1 for 2. He singled back in the second. Bounced out softly in front of the plate his last at bat. Working out of the stretch, and that one's popped up. Middle of the diamond on the infield. Well, now it's ranging in the short center. It's the shortstop Ikes who's able to make the play. P6 for those keeping score at home.
Now batting the second baseman.
And we'll flip back to the top of the lineup.
Roberto Garza.
Mr. Roberto Garza Nunez III. 1 for 3 tonight. Beg your pardon. 1 for 2 tonight. Walked in the second. 2-run single his last time up in the third. This time he bats with nobody on base. That's a relief for anybody associated with the Night Owls. He works ahead 1-0. Singled in 2 of 4 runs for Port Angeles in that third inning. That 1-0 is on the outside corner, 1-1. Addison Maddox taking a little extra time between pitches, working exclusively out of the stretch. You have the shortstop Ikes playing way over towards the hole on the left side. So all sorts of room up the middle. That 1-1, another curveball, called for a strike, 1-2. Nunez looking for yet another multi-hit game, coming off of nearly hitting for the cycle up north. That 1-2 skips in the dirt, 2-2 the count. Also, of course, while the lefties were on the road, able to celebrate Father's Day during the weekend. I know I told everybody before the lefties hit the road to make sure you call your dads. Well, happy Father's Day, everybody. Swung on and missed by Nunez. 2 quick outs in the fifth. Second time Nunez has gone down on strikes tonight. That'll bring up Trent Jackson. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error in the second, lined out sharply to right, his last at bat in the third. For the first time tonight, the Night Owls looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And their first scoreless frame since the first. 1-0 the count to Jackson. Addison Maddox looking to just restore some kind of order for a Night Owls team trailing 8-0. That 1-0, good swing from Jackson. He fouls it straight back. Well, one of my partners next to me just said made him flinch a little. Well, there's only a chain link fence and some extra glass separating us. You never know, though. You never know. Here's the 1-1. Swing on and missed at a curveball, 1-2 the count. So Maddox trying to pick up a 1-2-3 scoreless fifth. He's ahead of Jackson, 1-2. Now 1-2 is it towards the hole on the right side. The second baseman Marsh is up with it. Soft toss to the first. And the lefties, for the first time in what seems like forever, not able to put any runs on the board. Still in full control through 5, leading 8-0 on this gorgeous 8:08 Tuesday evening. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Night Owls. Ikes, Waters, and Hupe will get us started for the 6th. Dom Pito back to work. Well, he's made it look about as easy as a starting pitcher can possibly make things look in the West Coast League. 5 shutout innings at the moment, only scattering a couple hits, 6 strikeouts. Getting the ball, already standing on the mound, working quickly. Good defense being played behind him. So that 1-1 breaking ball misses in the dirt, 2-1. Getting those bats back to the dugout in quick order. About as comfortable and as orderly of an outing that you could ask through 5 innings. Alex 0 for 2. Well, that one's lined softly in the left center field. That's going to drop for a hit. Just the 3rd hit that Pito's allowed. Ike's is now 1 for 3. Wasn't hit very hard either. Might have been towards the end of the bat. Just kind of died as it lofted its way to left center. And it brings up Wiley Waters. He doubled back in the 1st. Ended up bouncing out to 1st in the 3rd, so he's 1 for 2. The lefties will set up to turn 2. See Pito work out of the stretch. Frankly, I haven't seen that very much tonight. And he starts Waters with a strike, 0-1. Waters stepped out just for a moment to get some signs in the third base coach's box. At 0-1, misses in the dirt. Good play by Adams to keep it near him. Oh, at the end of the last half inning, of course, wished everybody a happy Father's Day. Of course, I did the same thing with my old man. Still as much life in him as you could imagine, even up there at 77 years of age. So that one's it back towards the middle. Nunez up with this, could be 2. The second for 1. Choi, a quick turn over the first. Really, really good job. 4-6-3 double play. Well, immediately after, Ike's able to get on first with a single. He's erased. Now 2 outs in the 6th. But anyway, my dad, Marshall Schmeiser, served as an airborne ranger in Vietnam. From 1967 to 69 as that first pitch misses low to Brandon Hupe. Over 25 combat jumps. Also awarded a bronze medal for saving his unit. Check swing taken low on a breaking ball, 2-0. I have some fond memories as a kid. Whether on a bike ride or going up the block to the beach with my dad, singing all about, well, that ball's line foul over towards the Night Owls dugouts, and ended up seeing the massive players out there having to disperse for just a moment. Some fond memories of my dad singing Airborne Ranger songs. Pete will have the windup, the 2-1. That's right there, 2-2 the count. Here we go, Airborne Ranger shuffle to the door. Then Airborne Ranger out the door. That 2-2 is lined in the left field for a hit past the outstretched glove of Choi. So a couple singles now in the 6th for Nanaimo. And gives them a 2-out base runner. Pretty good breaking ball, 2 from Pito. Down in the strike zone, just a slightly better piece of hitting. That brings up Brandon Nickel. He doubled his last at bat in the 4th. Also struck out in the 1st, 1 of 6 strikeouts for Pito. So for the second time, we see him work out of the stretch. And that ball's lined for a base hit in the left. Swinging at the first pitch is Nickel. And Hupe will stop at second, so it puts a couple men aboard for Nanaimo with 2 outs. Curious to see what kind of adjustments a team makes, seeing a guy 3rd time through the order. You do have action in the Lefties bullpen. Tall right-hander, kind of a sidearm delivery. It could be Acker. First pitch taken outside, ball 1 to Aaron Marsh. Marsh walked back in the second, flew out to center in the fourth. So see Pito try to work out of a jam. Minimum first and second, 2 outs. His lefties lead 8-0. Well, that's a good fastball at the knees, 1-1. We saw Dom work around a man on third in the first, as well as a 1-out double in the fourth. That 1-1 curveball is right there for strike 2. So Pito ahead 1-2. Looking to pick up his 7th strikeout. Send the Night Owls back to the dugout. Takes one look at the runner. Here's his 1-2. Swung on and missed. Dom Pito, sensational. 6 shutout innings, helping his lefties hold on to an 8-0 lead. 3 times the Night Owls so far put men in scoring position, not able to put anything across. It's all lefties at the moment. We'll see the bats get back to work. All lefties at the moment as we move to the bottom of the 6th. B.Y. Choi, Owen Alsop, Chris Schuhart, the scheduled hitters. Then the Night Owls go back to the bullpen. It's Brian Vineyard who will take over on the mound. He starts Choi with a strike at the knees. Only the second game that Vineyard's pitching in. Foul tipped off the mask of Torres, 0-2. So the home plate umpire will walk the baseball back out to the mound. Vineyard went 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 4 unearned runs against Yakima Valley 5 days ago on 3 hits. Well, now B.Y. Choi will step out of the box and go talk to Carlos as he comes about halfway between home plate and third base. Now the home plate umpire will walk back to the plate after the courtesy trip out there. It looks like our head medical official, Maisy Zahn, well, she came out just for a moment to take a look at Samuel Torres, the catcher, and it looked like he waved her off. Well, albeit a brisk walk at that. So Torres is all right. And it's Choi behind 0-2 to start the 6th. And BY's 2 for 3 today. That misses high, 1-2. Vineyard working out of the windup. Here's his 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, 2-2. It's a really good sign to see some really good swings from BY tonight. One of them just being a base hit scalded up the middle, nearly getting a hold of the pitcher's head. Well, he goes down on strikes right there. So now 1 out in the 6th. Choi came into tonight hitting in each of his last 4 games.
Now batting the first baseman, number 39.
Especially returner from last season. Coming off a 15-home run campaign for New Mexico Military Institute. You get a guy like B.Y. Choi going, especially with the way Nunez is swinging the bat, leaving all the supporting characters, that's a dangerous lineup. First pitch misses inside to Alsop. He's 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts. Flew out to center field on a productive at-bat, getting a man over the third with less than 2 outs. That one's popped up. Foul territory. The first baseman, Hollig, is over towards the first base coach's box, and he's able to put it away. So 2 quick outs. They'll bring up Schuhart. Singled and scored back in the 3rd. Sacrifice fly in the 4th.
Number 35, Chris Schuhart.
And he's 1 for 2. The Lefties in charge at the moment, leading 8-0, looking to pick up their 4th consecutive win. Well, that pitch misses high. Bit of an awkward grab by Torres. It's kind of grab that makes you wonder if the catcher got crossed up. Well, I guess not, though. Here's the 1-0. That's a little outside, 2-0. Well, the lights are on at Civic Field. A really nice evening. The missed high, 3-0. One of those nights where as the sun starts to set, parts of the sky just start to look a little bit orange and red. Heck, you can even see it in some of the clouds. So we're able to see more and more blue. That's called a strike at about the belt, 3-1. The 3-1 pitch is bounced softly foul over towards the Night Owls dugout. So 3-2 now to Schuhart. Night Owls pitching trying to pick up their 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Here's the 3-2 from Vineyard. That's a little inside ball 4. 2-out walk for Schuhart. Oh, and that brings up, frankly, the big man of the night at the moment. Besides Pete on the mound, it's Cam Kuster. A double in the 2nd, 2-run homer in the 3rd. He walked his last appearance in the 4th. So he's 2 for 2. And that 2-run homer out to left field, that's a sign of things to come for the summer. Especially as it warms up starting tomorrow, as Kuster swings and misses that have looked to be a changeup. Going to get some warmer days, not quite as much wind, and the ball is just going to fly to left. So with the warm weather coming in, you really talk about hitting season being upon us. That's low, 1-1. And at least for tonight, the Night Owls picked the wrong time to take on the Lefties. Just not their night at the moment. 2-1 the count to Kuster. 2 runs in the 2nd, 4 in the 3rd, 2 more in the 4th. That's where we stand, 8-0 Lefties. A 2-1 pitch is lofted out to right field. Well, it's fairly well hit. It drives Heil back, and now he came in a few steps to put it away. So no runs, no hits, and a man left for the Lefties. We're through 6 full. Let's see if Don Pito. Now we're going to get a new pitcher. When we return, it'll be Cole Acker, the recent high school graduate, taking over on the mound. Well, we cruise on, everybody. Set for the 7th inning. Lefties leading the Night Owls 8-0. First of a 3-game set with Nanaimo coming to town. Cole Acker will take over on the mound for the Lefties. Recent high school graduate as of just a few days ago. It'll be the 3rd game he's pitched in. 4 innings overall. He was really good a week ago against Victoria Harbor Cats. The first pitch is hit foul by Tim Holick. 3 innings out of the bullpen in that outing. 3 earned runs, 4 hits. He did get touched up just a little bit towards the end of his outing, but he did look strong, especially against a tough lineup. Outside 1-1. So the line is complete for Dom Pito. 6 shutout innings, 5 hits, just a single walk and 7 strikeouts. Set softly, B.Y. Choi up with it, comes charging in, and a good stretch from Alsop at first, 1 quick out. Oh, a really good sign right there from Acker, getting a weak ground ball over the third base. That'll bring up Jax Heil. 0 for 2 today, struck out his last at bat in the 5th. He settles into the left-handed batter's box, and the first pitch is called a strike at the knees. Cole Acker, a deceptive kind of a sidearm delivery. That looked to be a changeup, and it catches the inside corner 0-2. Not a hard thrower compared to a lot of the other West Coast League pitchers. Relies on a lot of life on his pitches, as that misses outside, movement, and deception. Especially as a right-handed batter, it's not a guy I would love to face. Kind of slinging the ball from behind his head. Just the way changing arm angles. Some of the time you go a little higher with a 3/4 arm slot. Other times drop down just a little bit further. For a righty, it's kind of like he's starting the pitch from behind you. That just misses off the inner half. Looks like he had Heil fooled. So 2-2 the count now with 1 out and nobody on. That one's ripped foul. Just past the Lefties' dugout. Once again, some youngsters, big group of youngsters, playing out behind the right field fence. That 2-2, check swing and outside. Almost said Heil going after that one. Acker quickly out of the windup, the 3-2. It's off the end of the bat and popped up. Short left. Schuhart is there. He's able to put it away. Again, that ball ended up traveling a little further than I expected it to. I suppose that's going to be the norm for the most part the rest of the summer. And 2 quick outs for Acker coming out of the bullpen. That brings up Cody Hendricks. Flew out to center in the second, flew out to left in the fifth. That first pitch taken a little bit low, looked to be a changeup. Whatever it was, a lot of downward life on it. I'd say that was a breaking ball that missed outside. The way everyone in the big leagues is talking about a sweeper. I might have to talk to Cole about that. If he does have a sweeper in his arsenal. That one's right off the handle. It's fair up the third base line. Choi is up with it. Fires across, plenty of time. 1-2-3 inning for Cole Acker coming out of the bullpen. 3 batters, 3 guys hitting into weak outs. Through 6.5 here at Civic Field, the Lefties still up 8-0.
Number 20, Barrett Rose.
It'll be Barrett Rose, Sam Adams, and Sebastian Flores, the scheduled hitters for Port Angeles. The Night Owls go back to their bullpen once again. This time it'll be Jacob Fleury, 6'1" right-hander out of Skagit Valley College. He's ahead 0-1 to Rose. Barrett had an RBI single his last time up in the fourth. Lefties in control, 8-0. That one is skied out to center field. Hupe comes trotting in. He's able to put it away. So 1 quick out for Fleury. That's also the 8th consecutive hitter that the Nanaimo pitching has retired for the Lefties. All the damage on the scoreboard being done in the second, third, and fourth. Lefties had a knack for putting up some crooked numbers. Some really, really crooked numbers at that. Twice tonight sending 8 men to the plate in a given inning. Adams is behind 0-1. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. 1-1 as that misses outside. Only the second game that Fleury's pitched in. He threw 1 inning a week ago against Yakima Valley. 2 earned runs, a couple hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. At this point, if you're the Night Owls, unless something really, really changes, you're just trying to get outs and see if you have some better luck tomorrow. It's a Lefties team who is in a great position to win their 4th straight. That's ripped into center field for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Sam Adams. Boy, you love to get that kind of production, especially out of your catcher and your 8th man in the order.
Now at bat, the shortstop, number 8.
And a string of 8 consecutive hitters retired by the Night Owls pitching. And it brings up Sebastian Flores. Single back in the second, he's 1 for 3. On a throw over. I'd be surprised to see if Adams goes anywhere, especially leading 8-0. Suppose you never know. It's not like the play was close at first either. First pitch to Flores, the little high. The Night Owls will look to turn 2. The shortstop Ikes playing further towards the shortstop hole than you'd normally see, at least for an infield setting up for a double play. They must have some kind of book on his spray chart. On the outside corner, 1-1. Yeah, talking to Lefties first-year manager Carlos Ramirez, and I assume this is the case all around the college ranks. Big part of prepping for a game is just where you play everybody. Especially in college, you don't have the same shift rules you see in the professional ranks. 1-2 the count. That ball swung on and missed by Flores. Or I should say the same limitations on shifts that we now see in the professional ranks. So 1-2 the count with 1 out in the 7th to Flores. Adams on first. Slide step, check swing by Flores, low. First of 6 home games tonight for the Lefties. Coming off of a trip where they feel really good about themselves. That ball's hit on the ground to shortstop. Ikes flips over the second for 1. Over the first, dugout by Tim Holick. So 6-4-3 double play. That retires the side in the 7th. So the Lefties go down quietly. We're through 7 full. Still, all Port Angeles at the moment. There'll be a new pitcher for the Lefties as we journey on to the 8th. Garrett Holpuck will take over in relief of Cole Acker, who just delivered a 1-2-3 in the 7th. 5th game all out of the bullpen we've seen from Holpuck. 3.85 ERA. He does have a win earlier in the season. Came on the 11th against Springfield. 1 save, 7 total innings, 7 strikeouts, only 2 walks. Night Owls down to their final 6 outs. Holpuck trying to just make quick work of them. Well, that all said, during the weekend, during the short road trip, I was lucky, thanks to my host family, Lee and Sandy. I was able to meet with, I guess pretty much every local, let's say, is a staple of the athletic community. Howard Scooter Chapman was able to pay me a visit. If not the name, then I would assume the voice would likely elicit familiar, nostalgic, maybe even an emotional response. Been told up to 5 generations of local athletes would likely recognize him. He called it a career after 70 years at the KONP radio station, calling over 2,000 games along the Olympic Peninsula. Friday night football games right here at Civic Field. Goodness, the press box in the grandstands is named after him. Broadcasting games for Peninsula College as well as Port Angeles High School. He's been inducted into the Port Angeles Rough Riders Athletic Hall of Fame as well as the Peninsula College Hall of Fame. Samuel Torres, the scheduled hitter. First pitch is taken high, 1-0. Does not look to be Samuel Torres at the plate. I'll get you guys that pinch hitter in just a moment. 2-0 the count from Holpuck. So it's 9-1-2 coming up for Nanaimo. Swung on and missed, 2-1 the count. Looks like it's Matthew Ward who will come on to pinch hit. Three and 1 the count now. Torres 2 for 19 overall this season. Couple RBIs, no extra base hits. That one's lofted. Up in the air in the infield. In fair territory, the second baseman Nunez is over to make the play. One quick out. So the pinch hitter Matthew Ward will go down quietly.
Now batting the shortstop, number 18, Elijah.
It really is an honor, though, to say the least. Being able to talk to somebody who's just done it for so long. 70 years. Working at a radio station, calling the local action. I mean, that is a long time. 0-1 the count to the leadoff hitter, Elijah Ikes. So Ward popped out to second base. Elijah Ikes behind 0-1 with 1 out in the 8th. That curveball misses a little upstairs, 1-1. Just the advice you're able to get from a guy like that. Just little things, whether it comes down to how you keep yourself organized, what are some of the best ways to go about preparing, and just frankly, some of the really good memories. That ball's skied in the short center. Kuster comes trotting in and makes the catch, 2 away. Man, just hearing about Scooter doing post-game press releases on a typewriter after games. Just people my age, we don't realize, we almost forget that typewriters were a thing. There's guys like Scooter or even my parents working on typewriters. 1-0 the count to Wiley Waters. Waters doubled back in the first. Bounced into a double play his last time up in the 6th. 2-0 the count. Even for a guy who's almost 90 years old, all sorts of life from Scooter, and his voice still sounds good. At least audible-wise, he definitely could still call games if he wanted to. That's in there, 2-1. Yeah, they told me stories during the weekend about umpiring a JV softball game as that one's hitting the short center. It was going to drop in for a hit. So 2-out base runner for Nanaimo. then having his press box ready, having his change of clothes ready up above, and ready to call the varsity game right after the JV game ended. That's a guy who loves being busy and he loves what he does and loves being a part of the community. Every town, every community needs figures like a Scooter. You just do. Not exactly the broadcaster, but of course I have people like that from my hometown in Jersey. Just the kind of people that you can look to set a good example. And somebody who really enjoys what they do every day. 1-0 the count to Brandon Hupe. That one hit foul, 1-1. So 2 outs, a man at first. Top of the 8th inning, Lefties lead 8-0 over the Nanaimo NightOwls. That's a mouthful. That it definitely is. And a 1-1 count to Brandon Hupe. Curveball taken outside, 2-1 from Garrett Holpuck. Second man out of the bullpen for Port Angeles. And Don Pito, 6 shutout innings. The Lefties just 4 outs away from winning their 4th straight. Trying to move to 6-10 on the season. That 2-1 is swung on and missed. Late swing by Hupe. And of course, everybody, we'll be right back here. The local access station, the West Coast League app. 6:35, scheduled first pitch. That 2-2 is way outside. It goes to the backstop. Nothing Adams could have done on that one. Up to second goes Waters on the wild pitch. So 3-2 the count now. 2 outs, a man on second. Night Owls trying to see if they can get on the board. A long looking from Garrett Holpuck. He's still looking in. Wow. Well, now he comes set. He got what he wanted. A ginormous lead at second. Wow, what was that pitch? It looked to be some kind of changeup. It missed up and in. And now Sam Adams going out to talk to him. Trying to get back on the same page. So a 2-out walks puts men on first and second. I mean, maybe Adams is going out to talk to Holpuck just about Waters on second. He might have been about a third of the way over the third. That's one of those things, if you get some kind of inside move, you get him in a rundown. I mean, you're not going anywhere either down 8-0. Well, now Holpuck steps off. And Brandon Nichols, the hitter, he will hit for himself. Struck out in the first, and he doubled in the fourth. Also singled in the sixth, so he's 2 for 3. Slide step from Holpuck, and the first pitch is chopped foul by the Night Owls dugout. Looks like somebody over there made a pretty good play with a sweatshirt on. Second time tonight we've seen a ball hit fairly sharply to the Night Owl dugout. There's a chance that all these guys take. Whether it's the opposition or the Lefties, pretty much everybody hangs out in front of the dugout railing. Low 1-1. Of course, you saw earlier in the ballgame, Roberto Nunez just smoked Carlos Ramirez in the third base coach's box. The 1-1 from Holpuck. That ball's laced foul down the left field line over the batting cages. Seeing Carlos get hit by that line drive and giving the thumbs up. Goodness, the name of that umpire, Joe West. That's the one it reminds me of. The old cowboy Joe West, longtime umpire in the big leagues. Remember one time he got smoked by a foul ball, and he gave the big bicep sign That ball is lifted in the air to center. Kuster barely has to move. He comes in a couple steps, puts it away. Garrett Holpuck able to work around a couple base runners in the 8th. Able to preserve the shutout. Still 8-0 Port Angeles. See if the lefties can get a little bit more offense going. We're good to go for the bottom of the 8th inning. Lefties in full control, leading the Night Owls 8-0. It's Nunez who chops the first pitch foul, followed by Jackson and Choi. Another pitcher for the Night Owls. This time it's Riley Paulino. It'll be the 4th game he's pitched in. He's gone 2 2/3 innings overall. That one sits softly up the first base line. Tim Hullick comes to get it, and he'll take it to the bag himself, 3 unassisted. Well, Paulino's done his fair share of hitting and pitching this season. Again, the 4th game he's pitched in, all out of the bullpen. And he has a few scouted at bats in there. It's one of those lines where that's one of those things tough to tell. Well, he's listed as a pitcher and an outfielder. So I guess he is a two-way player. We don't see a lot of those even out here. That one misses a little outside. 2-0 to Jackson. Jackson, one of the few guys who's not gotten in on the hit parade. Well, never mind. Base hit in the center field off the bat of Jackson. Thank you for proving me wrong, Mr. Jackson. Now you're 1 for 4. Initially 0 for 3 coming in this at bat, hitting a ball hard back in the 3rd. So a 1-out base runner for the lefties.
Number 16, B.
Bats have been held relatively quiet since the 4th. All the damage being done between the 2nd and 4th innings. That brings up B.Y. Choi. These look pretty good tonight. First pitch is outside. Choi is 1 for 3, singling and scoring in the 4th, walking in the 1st. Up and in. A few oohs and ahs from the lefty faithful. Lefty on lefty matchup. Choi with that open stance. The Night Owls look to turn 2. Well, Choi gets a hold of that one. He raises it into fairly deep right field. Heil is back. He's able to make the catch. A little bit of room to spare in front of the wall. Choi just missed it, though. But again, though, really good to see. Choi getting a hold of one.
Now batting, number 32, Ethan Young.
And we'll get a pinch hitter. Ethan Young will come on to bat for Owen Alsop in the cleanup spot. Also, Alsop is done for the night. And Ethan will bat with 2 outs and a man over at first, and that being Jackson. The lefty-on-lefty matchup. Young getting most of the day off. First pitch curveball stays up and in. Young hitting a .154 overall. One of those guys, he's trying to get his back going. Swings and misses at that one, 1-1 the count. Yeah, let's get him in the back coming off the bench. See what we're able to do. Curveball. Well, that missed somewhere. 2-1. It's one of those. I thought that was a pretty good pitch. Ethan Young will definitely take it. That one's lined over the glove of Holick at first, and it trickles into right field. Jackson takes a turn from second. He's on his way to third. Well, Ethan Young able to come off the bench. He delivers a base hit. Everybody hits tonight for the Lefties. Everybody hits.
From Davidson College, the left fielder, number 35.
And that being the 11th hit of the night for the Lefties. Talk about really swinging it. That momentum from up in Canada making its way back to the Peninsula. That ball's ripped through the hole on the left side for a base hit by Chris Schuhart. 9-0 Lefties, RBI single for Schuhart. His second hit of the night. As good of a beginning of a homestand you could possibly ask for Port Angeles. 9-0 in the 8th. Great starting pitching from Pito. The bats coming out. Frankly, even on a night where Roberto Nunez only had a pedestrian 1 hit. One of the 2 hottest men in the league. Some big-time offense coming from the rest of the guys. So that brings up Coaster, beg your pardon. That's in the dirt, 1-1. Cam, of course, with the 2-run homer in the third, a double in the second. Also drew a walk in the fourth. You talk about a guy who's really seeing the ball well. He just misses that one as he floats in the short left field. Oh, look out. The shortstop Ike's able to make the play as the left fielder Hendricks came sliding in just next to him. So the lefty's able to add a run in the 8th. And they leave a couple. Through 8 full. It's 3 more outs, and the lefties able to win their 4th consecutive game when we return. Well, we're good to go. Top of the 9th inning, everybody. 5, 6, 7 coming out for the Night Owls. Garrett Holpuck trying to finish off this ball game, his 2nd inning out of the bullpen. First pitch misses inside. A pinch hitter, Jimmy Legg. Betting in the 5th spot for Aaron Marsh. So Marsh's night is all done. That one popped foul into the screen. Legg is 8 for 18 overall this season. No extra base hits, 1 RBI to his credit. Have the second baseman Nunez playing pretty deep at his spot. As that curveball is in the dirt and it goes to the backstop, 2-1. Oh, Holpuck and the Lefties looking to finish off a dominant night. 9-0, jumping all over Nathan Bouchon, Nick Fenner, and the Night Owls pitching. You combine that with a shutout effort from Dom Pito, where outside of just a little bit of trouble in the 6th inning, virtually untouchable. Definitely not a whole lot of hard contact. 3-1 Mitch is upstairs, a leadoff walk. So Jimmy Legg will take his base. Especially the Lefties, this winning streak, as Tim Hollick will dig into the box. The trip up to Canada, the bus ended up breaking down twice. So he had one bus about 30 miles from the ballpark. Ended up having some trouble. We are going to have a pinch hitter, this one being in Hollick's spot. So the Lefties will set up to turn 2. So 2-0 the count. Lefties just 3 outs away from picking up their 4th straight win. That misses inside, 3-0. So 3-0 the count to the pinch hitter, Caden Casagrande. Mr. Casagrande takes a strike on the outside corner, 3-1, probably taking all the way. So the first bus broke down, then they got a second bus, 1 mile up the road. That one broke down too. Lefties able to arrive about 6:25. The game got pushed back to 7:05. Back-to-back walks issued by Holpuck, puts him at first and second, nobody out. Just enough time for Joey Peralta to get warmed up to pitch and everybody else to get stretched out. No batting practice on the field. Lefties were able to emerge with a 2-1 victory. Then 2 more dominant efforts in the following days, not particularly close. So here comes the pitching coach, Ian Turner. Adams will trot out to the mound himself. Trying to get Garrett settled back in after walking the first 2 men this inning. Trying to finish off this ball game. Trying not to allow any blemishes. Just a truly resilient showing up north. And frankly, you pick up a win, 2-1 with all sorts of other things going on. You feel really good about yourself. Like, yeah, we got this. These guys are no match for us, especially when we have everything all set. Then especially to take that momentum coming back home. A 9-0 game, trying to take advantage of a couple teams hovering around the 500 mark. You're going to feel good in that Lefties clubhouse. That brings up Jax Heil. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He foul tips the first pitch into the glove of Adams. Lefties will look to turn 2. Legg at second, Casagrande at first. After drawing consecutive walks. Slide step. And 0-2 the count to Heil. And tomorrow also being the first day of summer. So that one's popped up into the screen. Adams ends up covering his head as the ball lands just about a foot in front of him. I guess I'd be a little nervous too if I were a catcher and had to contend with a ball tumbling down towards me off of a screen overhanging. And just how far north we are, the sun hasn't even gone down all the way yet. Well, is it still about 20 minutes of daylight? We sit at 9:05. 1-2 the count as that misses upstairs. Well, I have the weather app in front of me. I might as well check that. 9:17 sunset. Tomorrow, of course, being the longest game of the year. That's something I still haven't gotten used to yet. Our days are not that long on the Northeast. Heck, back on the Jersey Shore, our longest day of the year is usually about 8:30. So 1-2 the count now to Heil. No outs, men on first and second. Lefties looking to turn two. Finish off a dominant night. That ball's lined out to right center. The right fielder Jackson's over. He's going to play it on a hop. Station to station go the Night Owls. Last thing I want to do is make an out on the bases. I thought for just a moment that Jackson would be able to haul that one in. Not taking any chances, though, letting it fall in front of him. Oh, and here comes pitching coach Ian Turner. Immediately makes a signal to the bullpen. We're going to have a pitching change with no outs and the bases loaded in the ninth. Lefty still in control, leading 9-0. So Holpuck is out. New pitcher comes trotting in. Looks like it's C.J. Lewis. We'll be back to reintroduce him to you guys. So C.J. Lewis will take over with no outs and the bases loaded in the ninth. Lefties leading 9-0. Couple walks and then a soft base hit to open the frame for the Night Owls. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1 the count. This will be C.J.'s ninth game, all coming out of the bullpen. 3.95 ERA. He's been really good. A save to his credit, 13 2/3 innings. A whopping 16 strikeouts, and he's kept the walks down at only 8. Inside 1-1. Especially he had a couple one-inning outings up in Kamloops. Scoreless. Hardly anything. Able to close out that 2-1 victory on Friday. That ball's out to second. This could be two. Nunez over the floors for one. Back to first in time. 4-6-3 double play. A run does score, that being Jimmy Legg. Up to third goes Casa Grande. It's now 9-1. Lefties will gladly trade 2 outs for a run. Well, the Night Owls down to their final out. So it'll be another pinch hitter. This one coming in the 9th spot. That's taking on the outside corner 0-1. Really, can't ask for anything better all the way around from the Lefties just to start this homestand. 0-2 the count. The Night Owls down to their final strike. Matthew Ward being the pinch hitter. Well, he's behind 0-2, 2 outs in the 9th. Lefties lead 9-1. The pitch from Lewis. Upstairs, 1-2. Put a little extra on that fastball. Yep, CG just getting a little bit of work. Trying to make quick work. Finish off this ball game. The 1-2 check swing. Looks like Ward got a piece of it. Well, the fans know exactly what's going on. Lefties just 1 strike away from finishing this game off. Trying to move to 6-10 on the season. The pitch from Lewis. Just missed. Wow. It's been a strike throughout the night. Evens the count 2-2. Well, here's the 2-2 with 2 outs. Ball's on the ground. Choi is up with it at third. Casually across the diamond. Plenty of time. Well, the Lefties have come home from Canada, knocking off the Nanaimo NightOwls 9-1 to open this 3-game series and the first of 6 consecutive home games. Lefties improve to 6-10 on the year, everybody. The Night Owls fall to 6-9. Dom Pito, one of the big men of the night, 6 shutout innings, only 5 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts to his credit. Lefties putting up 8 runs across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th innings. That truly ends up being the difference. It's always a pleasure, everybody. I'm Evan Schmeiser. On behalf of my technical director, Griff McClellan, Matt Acker is the owner of the Lefties. It's been one heck of a night. Lefties. All Lefties tonight, 9-1. We'll see you all tomorrow.